The first day of Single Details launch was never meant to be a day of sales. In my mind, it was simply a time to prepare for the official launch scheduled for the following day. I arrived peacefully, focused only on setting up the display and ensuring that everything was ready. And to my surprise, what began as a quiet setup quickly turned into an unexpected book signing. As I carefully arranged each book on the table, the moment felt like more than preparation. It felt like an act of obedience and gratitude for the journey God had brought me through with Single Details. I had no expectations of selling any books that day. My heart was content with simply being present and trusting God for what was to come. However, God had a different plan. As people began to pass by, a few stopped to look at the table. What started as simply curiosity quickly turned into meaningful conversations. Some shared their personal stories, while others expressed how the title Single Details resonated deeply with them. Before I realized, several individuals felt led to purchase copies of the book, and I was genuinely surprised. Those first sales were more than I had anticipated for a day I hadn't even considered part of the launch. In that moment, I was reminded of the promise of God in Ephesians 3:20, which tells us that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that is at work within us. I had only asked for a smooth setup and a successful launch the next day, yet God chose to exceed my expectations by blessing the work even before the official beginning. Each sale felt less like a transaction and more like a divine appointment, a confirmation that the vision for Single Details was never mine alone, but divinely orchestrated. God was showing me that when we walk in obedience, He often moves ahead of our timelines. What I saw as preparation, He saw as purpose. And by the end of the day, I stepped back and looked at the table, noticing that several books were already gone. I sold out my first box. My heart was filled with gratitude and awe. The experience became a gentle reminder that when we surrender our plans to God, He delights in surprising us with blessings beyond our imagination. What I thought was simply a day of preparation became a day of confirmation. Truly, God proved Himself faithfully, demonstrating that He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or imagine. And in that moment, I could only give Him all the glory for what He had done, and for what was still to come. So it was a successful first day, and I'm so thankful. So get your copy of Single Details Journal and the book on Amazon. You will be blessed by that project.